Hello, my name is Paul Batchelor and I'm reading for the John Hewitt Society. Thank you to Paul Madden for inviting me to take part. I'm going to read two poems. This first one's quite short. It's called The Tawny Owl. There was this owl. I used to see him, perched on his branch in the not yet dusk, poised like a diver taking his time. I'd look out from my attic room. I'd look up from the dishes. There he'd be, weighing his options. Then suddenly let fall himself in a low glide the length of the terraced garden, bob over the churchyard wall, and be gone. His flight was silent, silencing. His disappearance had the force of apprehension. Never saw a kill. Never saw a mouse limp in his beak, though I remember it. Was not, as I once thought I'd be, brushed by his wing. This next one's a little longer. It's about an experience I had when I was on the train going home after work on a winter's evening. And the train came to a stop and I dozed off and I had a little dream about George Fox, of all people, the founder of the Quakers, because I was reading about him at the time. So the middle of this poem gets a little strange because that's when I've fallen asleep and I'm dreaming. This one's called The Curlew. Sighs and groans. As it crawls to a standstill, the train becomes a fortress. Outside, pitiless silence, emptied sky, snowbound farms, ever deepening blue. The vulnerable economies of owl and fox. Fields brushed as by a comet's tail with winter. No announcement, no sign of the guard. We have reached the threshold. It is everywhere at once, in depthless white drifts unbroken to the world's rim. Every man's harvest. I close my eyes. An automated voice declares a range of light snacks is available. It's airless, scumfish as the hide at Clara Vale, the Primus stove, the stash of second earlies. And who is this, if not mine own George Fox? For by his leathern trews I know him, twirling the logbook on its string, actual, talked up, talking in lines skimmed from his Penguin Classics journal, where it rests in my hands. I had forsaken all the priests, for there was none that spoke to my condition. The world seemed but a briery wilderness beset with men's inventions. Windy doctrines blowed folk about, now this way and now that, from sect to sect. Oh, here were wells without water. Here was the cloud without rain. From Clara Vale to Furbank Fell, Dirt Pot to Sparty Lee, my dream tour of hilltop outposts, where Quakers and hair-eyed Methodists dug in for the love of clarity, high on the law, and the promise of salvation, abstracted in varieties of silence above all. Friendly people who would not come into no great towns, but lived in the fells like butterflies, numbering sins clean as tumblestones, finding fences where others saw open fields. Their inward light, a sullen joy in sun-slashed verticals, Irish weather driving across the uplands, and the rained-out curlew sob that might have been a true saying, be as a stranger unto all. Thank you for listening.